Hey everybody, Kyle Lindsay, professional realtor with Remax Trinity here. Wanted to do a video today about how coronavirus has been affecting people that want to sell their house or need to sell their house here in Fort Worth and Tarrant County. Really greater DFW as a whole, but I'm going to be a little bit more specific for Tarrant County. Um, the processes we're going to talk about are the same across the board, but some of the numbers used at the end are specific for Tarrant. Anyway, so as you can imagine, with the coronavirus and the quarantines and the shelter in place and all of that, things have changed, and a lot of people are either taking their homes off the market or they are deciding to wait to put them on the market, and that's totally understandable. If you don't need to sell your house right now, it's probably good that you don't, and just keep it off the market, and don't expose yourself to unnecessary risk with this virus. But it's not quite that cut and dry for everybody. So there's a lot of people I talk to that still need to sell their home, or just really want to. And that's one of the reasons that why real estate transactions, anyone involved in them, including realtors, title companies, banks for a lot of reasons, but title companies, inspectors, we are all considered essential jobs and are still working right now because this is a need. Housing cannot stop. People still need to move, still need to buy places, sell places. So, with all that being said, there are some changes coming around. As you can imagine, we are not doing everything same as normal. And I'm going to go over some of those changes and how it's affecting us. So let me minimize myself here and put myself over in the other corner. All right. So how has this affected sellers, and how can you cope? Well, first off, as a professional, I have a plan. Remax Trinity, one of the reasons I love this brokerage is our broker, Jackie, has been working around the clock to not only keep us updated with all the new rules and changes, but to provide us with a lot of tools that we can use to help our clients and ways that we can go about that. So first off is, how is this changing house showings? Well, for the sellers, we always recommend keeping your house clean, tidy, everything kind of put up. I know it's not always happens that way, but when you're showing a house or you have an open house, you're already doing that. Well, you're going to take a few extra steps and make sure you're wiping down all the surfaces with antibacterial wipes, cleaners. Anything that you touch regularly needs to get wiped down and clean. You're going to open up, this is a big change, but you're going to go through the house and open up all of the doors and cabinets. That way, when the buyers are looking through them, they don't have to touch them and pull them and open them and all those kind of things. On entry, you're going to provide disinfectant or hand sanitizer. And, obviously I can help with that. But that way, when people enter the home, they can sanitize their hands immediately. So if they do have to touch something, a light switch, whatever door you may have forgotten, their hands are clean at least. I will also be providing virtual tours, 3D or video walkthrough, and I will be requiring the buyers to look at those before I approve the showing. In fact, I'm going to make the showing restrictions much stricter and even more so than normal, and they're going to have to watch that video before they get approved for the showing. They're going to have to prove they have the funds to purchase the house, as far as a pre-qual letter from their lender, and their agent is going to have to talk to me first and really kind of make sure that they answer all of the questions I'm going to go over in the next slide to make sure that they're still healthy and ready to go. For sellers and buyers, well, this section of this, for everybody, really just general practice is social distance, avoid shaking hands, things like that, and wash your hands frequently, especially when you are in someone else's home or right after someone has toured your home. Clean it again, wipe it down. That's kind of the extra steps there, because we're hoping you're cleaning it beforehand anyway, but you're going to need to re-wipe down all of the surfaces after they leave as well to, again, make sure that you're not going to get infected. For the buyers, we are going to require them to take their shoes off or wear booties. We are not going to provide the booties, hopefully they'll take their shoes off. Avoid touching any extra surfaces that they don't need to. This is not the time to see how the coffee pot works or play with a thermostat or any of that other stuff. And then, of course, on either side, if you start feeling unwell or a family member that lives there gets sick, all the showings are off. Buyer side, seller side, especially on the seller side, boom, all showings are canceled for the next couple weeks until either that person is feeling better and has been cleared by a doctor, or that person's been removed from the house for whatever reason, and everything has been wiped down and sanitized again. So those are most of the precautions right there. The next slide is going to show you some of the signs I'm going to use. So this stop sign and all of this stuff really is going to be part of the MLS instructions. I'm sending it to the agent beforehand. These are the questions they have to answer for their clients beforehand. Fever, do they have any symptoms? Have they been contacted by someone who's had a confirmed case? They traveled outside of the state, the United States, and having any difficulties? If they answer yes to any of those questions, they cannot come into your home. If they can answer no to all those, they make it, that's check 1. Check 2 is right inside the door. Please remove your shoes, sanitize your hands. If you don't feel comfortable doing either of those things for whatever reason, I'm not sure why someone wouldn't just take off the shoes off or sanitize their hands. But if they decide not to, then they need to leave. They can't do the showing anymore. So that may seem extreme to some, but we are doing everything we possibly can to make sure that when a stranger is entering your home, they are not bringing in a contagion with them. So all that being said, these are all the restrictions we're going into. There are some good things happening though right now. This is still a good time to sell your home. In fact, May and June historically are the best times to, or maybe not the best times, I'll air quote that. It is the most active time to sell your home. More homes hit the market are listed in May or June than ever. So if you're considering selling your home, this is a great time to be preparing for that. If you were already planning to sell at the end of the school year, well, we all know the school year might have gotten shifted back a little bit. This is a great time to look at your house. Are there any repairs that can be done, upgrades that can be done? Go through all your stuff and clean it out. All the stuff that you would normally do to get your house ready for sale, now is a great time to do that. Also, we went into this crisis with a housing shortage. Builders could not keep up with supply. There were not enough homes on the market. We were still in a seller's market before we went into this, and everything is pointing, especially here in North Texas, that we are going to be in a seller's market when we come out of that. If you're having financial difficulties because of COVID, my heart goes out to you. And that may affect some people's decision whether they can or can't buy a home. But by and large, we are still in a fantastic economic climate here in Dallas, North Texas, or DFW. And with that doesn't look like it's gonna change throughout all this. So let me go to the next slide real quick and show you a few of the numbers here, because I am the property geek, and what's a geek without numbers here? So as of today, so as you can see, this chart's broken down by the number of listings on the left side, and kind of I separated each one of these little ticks represents 1 week. So every 7 days, as of 3/19, obviously it was 1 week ago. So this is basically kind of showing you the trend as homes being taken off the market. So as of today, there was 3,541 active listings in Tarrant County, which is about normal for this time. In the last 7 days, when all these announcements, shelter in place, and all of this have been being taken into effect, 184 listings have been taken off the market. Well, when we kind of really break that down, you kind of look, it's normal somewhere between 60 and 80 homes to come off the market per week. As you look, every single week, about 60 or 80 homes are coming off the market for one of these 3 reasons. Either the listing was canceled, it's been temporarily taken off the market, or it's been withdrawn. These are all obviously voluntary reasons for taking something off the market. I didn't include expired or sold, obviously, or any of that other stuff, because those are not voluntary technically. Sold is obviously voluntary, but anyway. But so in the last 7 days, we've had 71 canceled, which is slightly higher than normal. We've had 106 temporarily taken off the market, which is almost more than double. Um, and then we've had 7 withdrawn, which is only very slightly higher than normal. So the big thing here is temporarily taken off the market has obviously the biggest spike. It's this light blue area right here. That's good news for home buyers, meaning that people aren't just taking their homes off the market for good. It's temporary. So they want to put their home back on the market. They want to sell it. They might need to sell it. There's still going to be plenty of homes to purchase when this thing is over. And obviously, as we move into May and June, maybe even more have hit the market by that point. And again, a little bit more good news here. 373 listings have sold in the last 7 days. So 184 taken off the market, 373 actually sold. So more than double have been sold than just been voluntarily taken off. And still, this is a very small percentage. 184 listings is about 5% of the 3541, 373, right around 10%, a little over. So all that being said, I appreciate you taking the time to sit through this video with me. Hopefully it's given you a little bit more confidence if you were thinking about selling your house. And again, by all means, if you can wait and you want to wait, this is making you nervous, by all means do. That's probably in your best interest. It's probably in a lot of people's best interest. The less exposure, the more we flatten the curve, the better this thing is gonna, or the faster we'll get through it, and the better hopefully we'll be at the end. But if you need to sell your home, please call me, reach out to me. You've seen this plan. We can go over and talk about how we can implement it specifically in your home and all the other steps we can take to make sure that you stay safe, the buyer stays safe, and you guys end up with a successful home sale. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.